usually you screen your calls, you don't have anybody to disturb you and all this stuff, so somebody calls, and Danny says, well, there's a call for you. I says, who is it? He says, it's Roger. It's Roger from, he says, it's Roger from California. I said, I don't know any Roger from California. So I get the phone, and the caller says, well, it's Marcel, yes. Scored any goals tonight. I got a high-power rifle. I got to blow your head off. I didn't think it was really funny. So I says, who's this? So I hang up the phone, and I tell Danny right away, I said, Danny, you're not going to believe this. I got this call, and this guy was killing me, you know. It's just, if I score any goals tonight. Well, Danny Grant was really like a funny guy, so he said, don't worry about it, you know, it's nothing. And I said, no, well, I'm really worried about it. So the protocol is like, you got to call security, just in case. That's what you learn at training camp, you just don't know. So I called Bob Perry. And Bob says to me, he says, well, don't worry, we're going to have a security agent come and talk to you. In the meantime, this is bugging me. So then Danny Grant starts to play with me, starts to play with my mind. So this is an NHL hockey player going through, when I went through that night player game, he starts, gets out of the bed. So we had one of his rooms, anyone remember that? So he goes against the wall, he starts crawling. So now he goes by the window, and I go up to the 10th story, he says, looks like, I don't see any snipers out there. I said, Danny, will you stop this? I don't like this at all. And he's laughing. So the security guy comes up. He says, Marcel, don't worry. He says, we're going to look after this, and everything's going to be fine. I says, now I'm thinking, I asked him, what are the odds that somebody could kill me, you know? He says, 1 in a million. I didn't like the odds at all. I like 1 in a billion or something. So now I go to Bobby, tells me, Bob Ray says, well, geez, don't tell anybody. So now this is a strange night for everybody that saw me that night, because nobody knew. But they knew there was something wrong with me. So now I got in the dressing room. I'm going for the warm-up. My warm-up was very, very slow. So anybody watched me to warm up, and basically never shot anything. I look at all the beautiful people in the crowd. Our warm-up is about 16 minutes. I'm trying to go as quick as I can, Bob. You know, so now I get there, right? For a warm-up, I'm skating. I'm bumping, guys. I never skated so fast in my life, because I'm thinking, you know. So I'm looking at it, point there, and I'm looking at the clock, 16 minutes. Well, I've got 12 minutes, I'm in the room. So now I get to the dressing room, and I'm thinking, it says, I just hope I'm not starting. Our line's not starting tonight, because now I'm done. It's an easy target. The guy's got me right at the blue line, right? Oh, so can you see? Boom! I didn't like that. So now you got facing. I can see that they're playing the same rink, the Pittsburgh Penguins. So I'm on that side. So let's see, we're facing here, and they're on the right side. So now I said, okay. So they start playing the national anthem. First thing I noticed, well, you can't get me from back there. But now he's got me right up there. And players, you know, athletes, they rock, right? But I was not really rocking. I was moving. I'm doing this way, that way, you know. So Bob Baby comes near me and he says, Marcel, he says, don't worry, I'm with you. And I'm like, yeah, but Bobby, if he misses me, he's going to get sued. You got to be so stupid, I swear to God. So now the play goes on. Again, the Triple Crown, right? We had some big guys. We got Jerry Corral, Rick Chartrand. The puck was on. I can see Bob Miller saying, what's the matter with Dionne? The puck is moving in the power play. Taylor to Dionne. Dionne back to Taylor. Dionne's got an open net. No, he gives it back to Taylor. Rick Chartrand gives it back. Sabre gives it to Dionne. Open net. No, he gives it back again. Goes back to Taylor. Finally, it's right there. And you're probably thinking, what are you doing? I put it in, right? As soon as I put it in, all I'm thinking, where are my guys? Because now I'm thinking, he's got me so 6'3", 6'2", 6'4", 6'5". I got right in the middle of that. They don't know what's going on. So I'm going to go Marcel. I said, boy, no, he's got some big targets. So our first period is over. So I said, well, you didn't get me this period. There's something wrong. I never take penalties. Second period, I take a penalty. I got the penalty box on the other side. Now the guys are watching. There's something wrong. I get a 2 minute for, I don't know what I did, but anyway, so I go there for 2 minutes. I was tightening up my skates. They never saw it. Never saw it. Anyway, it was just crazy. And I said, oh my God. So the game was over, went home, and went right to my room and disappeared. So the next day was in the newspapers. So Butch Goring was making fun of me. He said, hey, fat cat, somebody wanted to kill you out there. That's funny. I said, that was not funny, let me tell you. 3 months later, we go back to Pittsburgh. Kind of forget about it. Now this time, screen the calls and everything, right? Get on the ice, first shift, scored a goal. This is true story. Scored a goal, turned around, nobody came to me, they all went to the bench. So just tell you, Bob, I mean, as much as we did a lot of things, I mean, there's a million stories, but that's a true story to get into. It was fun. I think we won the game.